government, in consultations with the members of the public, including the local community, will convert this scene of crime to a place of remembrance so that many, many generations to come, many centuries into the future, Kenya and the world will never forget that there was this kind of outrage on humanity here in Shakahola. This is not a place that can be reverted to farming and to ranching and to other human activities, because the souls of our brothers and sisters, adults and children that we've lost require much more dignity than that.
Asante sana mpenzi mtazamaji wa VA Media, natumai ya kwamba uko salama salmin na buheri wa afya. Karibu sana hii leo tunapozungumza nawe kuhusiana na masuala ya Shakahola, ila mimi nashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kuweza kunipa fursa nyingine kuweza kulonga nawe mtazamaji wangu. Leo tunazungumzia masuala ya Shakahola, na kikubwa haswa ambacho tunaangazia hii leo ni ile hotuba ya Waziri wa Usalama wa Ndani Kithure Kindiki. Kindiki aliomba msamaha wa Kenya, na ni swala ambalo mimi niliweza kulichukulia kwa uzito sana, kama vile Rais William Ruto aliomba wa Kenya kuhusiana na yale yote yaliyotokea Shakahola na kupelekea vifo vya zaidi ya watu 200. Basi vile vile Waziri wa Usalama wa Ndani Kithure Kindiki aliweza kuomba wa Kenya msamaha kufuatia kisa hicho. Kwa sasa hivi tunavyozungumza ni kwamba katika awamu ya kwanza na ya pili, maana kulikuwa na awamu za ufukuzi, na awamu ya kwanza na ya pili basi waliweza kufukua mili 242. Mili 242 basi iliweza kufukuliwa na watu 95 wakaweza kuokolewa katika msitu huo wa Shakahola wakiwa hai, na 19 kati ya 95 hao basi waliweza kujumuika na familia zao, kutangamana na familia zao, japo waziri huyo wa usalama wa ndani Kithure Kindiki anasema ya kwamba baadhi ya wale waliokolewa ambao walikuwa hai basi wanasaidia polisi katika uchunguzi na vile vile tu kutafuta ule ushahidi katika kesi inayoendelea kwa sasa, ambao mhubiri tata Huyo Mackenzie na vile vile wale wafuasi wake waliokuwa washirika wake wa karibu basi waliweza kutekeleza mauaji hayo, ambayo kwa sasa idadi ya waswaya waliofariki bado haijajulikana, japo kulingana na takwimu zilizotolewa na Waziri wa Usalama wa Ndani Kithure Kindiki basi jumla ya watu 242 waliweza kufukuliwa, ama miili iliweza kufukuliwa kunradhi, na watu 95 wakawa wameokolewa wakiwa hai. 19 tayari wameweza kujumuika na familia zao. Kulingana na Waziri wa Usalama Kithure Kindiki ni kwamba baada ya kukamilika kwa zoezi la kufukua mili pamoja na uchunguzi unaoendelea Shakahola, basi anasema kwamba eneo hilo la Shakahola basi litageuzwa na kuwa kumbukumbu ya kitaifa, ambayo kwa sasa wanasema kwamba itakuwa a place of remembrance, ama ukipenda pahali pa ukumbusho, ambapo Wakenya hawataruhusiwa kufanya chochote pale, ikiwemo ni kilimo ama mambo mengine, bali yalotokea kile kiwango cha mauaji ama vifo vilotokea eneo hilo, basi eneo hilo litageuzwa kuwa pahala pa ukumbusho kwa Wakenya wote, na vizazi vijavyo basi vitakuwa vinakumbuka tu kile kitu ambacho kilitokea eneo hilo la Shakahola. Aidha, Waziri wa Usalama wa Ndani Kithure Kindiki vile vile amesema kuwa wataandaa ibada maalum, ibada ya ukumbusho, ambapo kutakuwa na maombi maalum ya eneo hilo la Shakahola ili kutakasa eneo hilo na vile vile tu kuweza kuwakumbuka wale wote ambao walifariki maeneo hayo.
Horrible crimes against the human race. As I said yesterday from Taita Taveta, we must prosecute and have convicted Mr. Mackenzie and his collaborators. And for that reason, we are working extremely hard. I want to congratulate the investigators and multi-agency to make sure that this case is won. It must be won. And for all those family members and victims of the multi-agency, that has been involved in the exhumation of bodies, which we had stopped about a week ago, maybe 10 days ago, to enable us to carry out the post-mortem examination of the 129 bodies which were retrieved from this forest, phase 2 of the exhumation. That exercise was concluded last week, and now between phase 1 and phase 2 we have a total death toll of 242 people who have lost their life in the manner in which they have lost their lives here in this forest. And this morning we have overseen the commencement of the third phase of exhumations, because we still have graves that are unopened in this forest, and our teams are doing a great job. I would like to emphasize that we are very satisfied as government with the teams that are carrying out that exercise, because we need to be careful to do it within the law and also to meet international standards that relates to handling scenes of crime involving this kind of crimes. The investigations surrounding mass graves and how they are processed, I am happy to report that our multi-agency teams, led by the DCI Homicide Directorate or Unit, are doing a good job. They are observing the laws of our country, and they are also observing international protocols on handling this kind of a matter. It just speaks to the fact that Kenya has come of age in some of these things. We've had a lot of outpouring of sympathy from other countries, but this is basically an exercise that we are leading ourselves, and we have told our friends when need be, in the process of accountability, because the journey is still long, we might require some support of this nature or the other nature. But I'm satisfied to report that the teams there are doing a great job. So we don't know, again, unfortunately, we don't know how long this will take. But as soon as we are satisfied that we need again to do autopsy, we will stop the process. It continues. We have not recorded many instances of rescue in the last few days, and we suspect that the number of victims who could be alive could be diminishing. And I want to commend the search and rescue team for doing a great job. And up to now, we've been able to save 95 lives, which would have been lost if it was not for the teams that have been combing this forest on land, sometimes using aerial equipment like drones, day and night. I am grateful that at least 29 people who would have died in the hands of these criminals have been rescued, and many of them are recuperating, they are stabilizing. Some of them, about 19, have been reunited with their families. They may not have been released yet because we need to stabilize them, and they need also to assist us with investigations, but at least 19 of those 95 who have been rescued have been reunited with their families. We have also continued to profile those that succumbed to death by collecting DNA samples, and we've collected 93 DNA samples so far. And I want to request the families and the communities that are affected to bear again with us, because the processing of DNA examinations and the processing of the results of DNA takes a little bit of time. but we are almost, there in terms of providing a roadmap on when that process could also conclude. But it's going to take a bit of time because it's a scientific process and it cannot be processed instantaneously. Besides that, we've also received the progress report of the investigations, especially the investigations surrounding. We are on the investigations. Allow me, before I end my remarks, to say two other things. One, what has happened here is not a small matter. It's not a small matter for Kenya. It's not a small matter for humanity all over the world. What has happened here is a grave outrage on humanity. And for that reason, the scene of crime where this most horrendous criminal work has been carried out can never be again reverted to normal and ordinary human activity. And for that reason, once the scene of crime is clear of the investigations and subject to any directions that may be given by the judiciary, the scene of crime will be taken over as a national memorial. And therein, government, in consultations with the members of the public, including the local community, will convert this scene of crime to a place of remembrance so that many, many generations to come, many centuries into the future, Kenya and the world will never forget that there was this kind of outrage on humanity here in Shakahola. This is not a place that can be reverted to farming and to ranching and to other human activities, because the souls of our brothers and sisters, adults and children that we've lost require much more dignity than that. We will be making a decision on what it will be used for. But as I've said, it will be of remembrance, lest we forget what has happened to humanity from here in Shakahola. The second and last point that I want to make is that once the investigating agencies clear the scene of crime, we shall, in consultation again with the members of the public, including the local community, we shall be calling for a national congregation of all faiths, all religious faiths within this vicinity, so that again the true believers of faith from every religion and every faith and the leadership of our country at all levels can converge here and stand in solidarity with our people whom we have lost in this manner, and the local community and the country, and make a pronouncement in solidarity with the victims of this egregious crime from here. And that will be a commemoration service presided over by men and women of faith from various religions, so that we can also be able to rescue the damage that some people would want to visit on the different religions we have in this country, so that we can be able to rescue the sacred right to the freedom of worship in our constitution, which has been threatened and defiled by crooks and criminals and thugs who have been hiding scriptures of different religions to cause crime or to commit crime. And Mr. Mackenzie belongs to that category of crooks and criminals who are hiding behind religion to defile religion. Yet we know religion has done very many positive things. Christianity, Islam, and all other religions, they have done great things to enhance humanity, to support even government efforts, to bring development closer to the people, to counsel and nurture people, to solve so many problems in families, communities. Yet we have a few crooks, 0.01%, who use religion to do the kind of things Mr. Mackenzie and team has done here. Nataka niwashukuru na niseme ya kwamba now the evidence that is available at the moment suggests that Mr. Mackenzie's activities of killing people and burying them may have extended beyond the 800 acres where he was operating. Therefore, we are looking actually technically at the entire 50,000 acres of Chakama Ranch, but particularly based on the evidence we have, we might restrict the initial scrutiny on approximately 37,000 acres, where we have found evidence that perhaps Mr. Mackenzie would have extended his criminal activities beyond the initial 800 acres. On the issue of the blocks, as I have said, every 100 acres will be turned into one block. As we go further, we may expand that to 200, maybe to 500, depending again on the evidence of either human activity or any disturbance that suggests that we could be having evidence as we go further from the Mackenzie, the initial place where Mackenzie had concentrated his criminal activities. Last one. Yes, sir. The basis of evidence and the law. It's as simple as that. And the reason why I said that he will stay in prison forever is because I am aware the kind of punishment that is given to people who commit the kind of crimes he has committed, based on my professional background. I'm aware what kind of punishment is visited on such people. So he will not see the light of day. He will stay there for the remainder of his life, and then he can go and account for his crimes later on in the life hereafter. So I can say that without any fear of contradiction. On the second issue, I think we have repeated this, but it's not enough to repeat it. You heard the president say that perhaps what happened here should not have happened. And he did apologize and say, since some of these activities go back to 3, 4, 5 years, what happened here and the magnitude of what happened should not have happened. And I took cue from the president and said, as the Minister for Security, I also apologize because this should not have happened. But I also said, which I want to repeat here, that in terms of bringing to account those who caused this, we are not going to restrict ourselves to Mr. Mackenzie and his collaborators. I said every person who either contributed in one way or the other to this must be brought to account, even if he's a public official, even if he's a security officer, So the accountability bit is the saving grace. But I also gave an assurance that bad as matter is, this administration will make sure that the tightening of the legal, policy, institutional and procedural structures is done in such a way that it will be impossible for a crook of this magnitude to cause us this kind of harm again. It's the best we can do. And by the way, it happens. It's not unique to Kenya. It happens. And last time I gave you a chronology of countries that have attacks, even fairly sophisticated countries more than our country. So we will bring to book everyone involved. We will ensure that this does not happen again. And if this doesn't change Kenya and the way we handle our national security, I don't think anything else will ever change our country. Thank you very much. God bless you and have a good evening.
Unyama huu ulitekelezwa na Mackenzie na vile wenzake ni unyama ambao ulitekelezwa na watu ambao waliweza tu kujificha nyuma ya dini. Kwake anasema ya kwamba msijali na Mackenzie. Maana watu tu wamekuwa wakiuliza, tunaona Mackenzie anaenda kufanya kesi pale mahakamani kama Mkenya wa kawaida, ndio ako na ile nafasi ya kwenda kujitetea. Wakenya wamekuwa wakiuliza maswali, inakuwaje Mackenzie, basi hatima yake ni gani? Na kwake waziri amesema ya kwamba msitie shaka, msijali na Mackenzie. Mimi mwenyewe najua kwamba vile itakavyofanyika, lakini kwake anasema kwamba ataishi jela milele. Labda pengine tu nikinukuu tu yale maneno ambayo aliweza kutumia ni kwamba he will not see the light of the day. Yani kwake anasema kwamba ataozea pale jela kufuatia tu yale mambo, kulingana naye anasema the magnitude of what he has done. Yale mambo ameweza kufanya, basi hataweza kuona the light of the day. Asante sana kwa kutazama hadi mwisho. Kwa wale wote ambao hawaja subscribe, tafadhali naomba usubscribe na vile uweze kubonyeza hiyo kengele ili uwe miongoni mwa wale premier gang, wale wote ambao watakuwa wanatazama vipindi vyetu, makala yetu, mahojiano yetu pindi tu tunayaweka hapa katika VM Media. Kwa wale ambao ni returning subscribers, na wapenda sana, asanteni sana kwa kuendelea kuni support. Na vile kwa wale wote ambao wameweza kutazama, wacha Mungu wa baraka awaweze kunyunyiza hizo baraka kwenu, kwa maisha yenu, kwa familia zenu. Hadi wakati mwingine, kwaherini kwa sasa.